Welcome back to my channel, guys. Today I'm going to show you ways to improve your makeup skills. So I'm going to talk about prepping your skin. We're going to talk about foundation. We don't want to get foundation to make us look older. You know what I'm saying, girl? We got to make it look fresh. So I'm going to give you guys some tips on different things with makeup, priming, prepping, tools. We're going to talk about all of it and we're going to get into it right now. Okay, so one of the ways that you want to prep your skin is to use a moisturizer, or you can use a primer. And there's a couple different primers I want to talk about. So for me, I just have not found a primer that works for me. But girl, I might be trying a primer really soon, and I'm going to talk about that one in a second. But right now, I am just using a moisturizer. The one that I like to use is the one from Charlotte Tilbury. It's the Magic Cream. I love it. It's part of my morning routine, and then I use it again right before I do my makeup. I just like the glow that it gives my skin. I don't find it to be too heavy or greasy or anything like that for me under my makeup. So I really, really love it, and it's been my go-to. I use very little, and this little jar has lasted me months, and I feel like I'm going to get a couple more months out of it. If I do, I think I'll be on, what, 6 months or something like that. I don't know. So it's lasted me a while. Now, if that's out of your price point, that's fine. Look at a moisturizer that you may have in your cabinet that you use during the day as part of your routine, and you can use it under your makeup. Kind of play around with it. You want to make sure that you are using a moisturizer that's not going to be too heavy underneath your makeup. You want to get something that's light and something that's going to work with your sunscreen and your makeup. If you are someone that you just can't, no matter what foundation you use, it just rolls off your face, it's so oily, then I would recommend looking for a primer that is sticky. Now, I'm not a fan of the Milk makeup, but I've heard, and I don't know because I haven't tried it, I'm just putting it out there, that I've heard that the Milk primer is a really, really good one. There's also a new one from Urban Decay that I want to try out. I haven't tried it yet, but I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of getting back into Urban Decay lately after I've been sent product and I've been liking what I've tried. That doesn't mean I like everything from them, but I think I'm going to try it. And if you guys have any primers that you could recommend for everybody that's watching this video, please leave in the comments below. It'd be really, really helpful. A gripping primer, what that's going to do is it's going to help your foundation stay on longer if you're someone that really has issues with that. Another thing you can look for is a pore filling primer. I used to use one of those before I was getting into my skincare. Now my skin's in a better place and I don't feel like my pores are as noticeable as they were. But a pore filling primer is great. So if you use a pore filling primer, that's not something you put all over your face. You're just going to want to use it in the areas that you find your pores are really stand out. So like for me, it would be like around my nose right here. I have some pores on my chin, on my scarf for some reason. It's like that there too. So that's where I would use it. I don't have any to recommend. Again, if any of you guys have any to recommend, please leave it in the comments below. It would be helpful. Now, always make sure that you guys are washing your face really good at nighttime if you're using something like that, because you're pushing it into your pores. So you want to make sure that you are cleaning it off really, really good. So pore filling primer just goes in those areas, and then you would apply your foundation on top. Now for me, what I like to do is I use a sponge to apply my makeup. I don't use a lot of foundation. I go on the lighter side now because I don't have to cover everything up. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But I like using my beauty blender. This does not absorb liquid. I hear so many people say that. I've shared a couple videos on it, and not too long ago I shared a video where I cut it open, if I can remember. I will link it up there so you can check it out. It does not absorb liquid. It doesn't. So love using this. I pretty much use this on even my serum foundations. I use this to apply my makeup. And what you want to do when you're using this is you want to really make sure you are pressing it in. I know sometimes when you're watching me, or you might be watching another channel, it might look like we're just going like this all over, but I can tell you that we are pressing it into our pores because that's what you want to do, and you want to take your time doing it. Again, it may look like, with the magic of our videos, like we're done in 2 seconds, girl. Mom needs all the help she can get, and I'm making sure I'm blending it really, really good, because I don't want it to look like you just want it to look like it's part of your face, it's part of your skin, your foundations. That's what I like about using a sponge compared to a brush. I just feel like it's a much nicer, smoother, cleaner look when you're using a sponge. You don't have to use this one. Use whatever one that you want, but I feel like using a sponge makes a nicer canvas for the rest of your makeup. Something else you want to think about when you are applying your makeup that's really gonna kick up your skills is finding the right shade of foundation. So how do you do that? How do you decide whether you're warm or cool? Well, I'm gonna tell you. If your veins are blue and you have a pink flush to your skin, that means your skin is cool. If your veins are green looking and you have little yellow and golden tones, that means you have warm skin tone. And if your veins are blue and green, that means you are neutral. And I am neutral. Besides finding your right tone, in my opinion, I've seen people share the opposite. I just don't agree with them. But I feel it's better to go lighter than too dark, because once it's too dark, if you pick a foundation that's too dark, it's just not going to match with your neck, and no matter what you put on your face, you're just going to look like you have a darker face and a lighter neck. In my opinion, I feel like it's better to go, if you're looking for a foundation and you're looking online, it's better to go a little bit lighter than darker, because you can go ahead with a bronzer, you can put a bronzer all over your face and blend it in, and you can deepen it a little bit more, where if it's too dark, it's just too dark. In my opinion, it's always better to go lighter. So if you are at home right now, which most of us are, and you're like, I want to try a new foundation, I don't know which one to get online. Yeah, I might be cool or might be warm, but like, what color do I get? I don't know. How do I match up what I have? Well, there's a website, this is not sponsored, there's a website called Findnation, and I will leave it in the description below for you guys. So what you do is you go on there, you type in one of your foundations, they'll ask you what the color is, and then they will give you a list of other brands that have colors that are similar to that. So that is really, really one that I found really helpful for myself. And I don't know what's going to happen with like Sephora and all these places. I really hope that these companies give out some samples. You know, I think that would make it really, really easier for us. Like if I could order samples of like foundations and shades, that would be fabulous, you know, because I don't think that makeup counters are ever going to be the same again. I don't think that's going to happen. So probably going to see some changes. Another thing I think would be great is if they offered like smaller sizes just to test out for a while and see if that works out or not. And then if it does, then you can buy a bottle of it. So I really hope that they change the way they do that. We'll see what happens. When you're deciding whether you should use creams or powders, so let's talk about that. Now, I have oily, dry combo skin, and I personally would rather be on the dewy side because I just feel like it looks more youthful. When I see somebody that's younger than me and I'm looking at their skin, they always have that glow on them, and it just makes them look more youthful as opposed to if it was matte looking. Lately, I'm using this Laura Mercier combo, which I really, really like. And I will mix things up. Like I will use a liquid up here, but then I use a powder down there. Or I will use my beloved Daniel Sandler blushes. I love those. They give you a beautiful glow. So when do you know when to use any of that? Well, it depends on how oily your skin is. If you have really oily skin, like I have oily skin, but I feel like I don't pile in a lot of foundation. I don't add too much. I try to keep it on the light side, but I do live in Florida here. So it depends on the situation. If I know I'm going to be walking out all day long in the heat, in the humidity, then I'm going to use more powders. If I'm going to be kind of inside and outside all day, then I may just go for my creams and my liquids and stuff like that. And I know it's going to wear well on me. So what I'm saying is you have to look at your skin type. If you have dry skin, then you can use it, even the humidity girl. You can go ahead and use that cream. You can use that liquid. You can do that. And you have to be really, really careful with powders, even setting powders. If your face is really dry, be very careful. I mean, if you don't feel like you need to use a setting powder because your skin is so dry, then don't use it. Just because you see other people using it, just don't do it. but I have to use a little bit of powder because I have that oily dry combo skin. I have a little bit of both. I feel like it's more oily lately than dry because I'm not using that Retin-A. I was getting all those patchiness from the Retin-A. I feel like my skin's like so much better now. Since I'm not using Retin-A, to be honest with you, I'm using retinols instead. That's another day, another video. But that's what you have to determine is what your skin type is before you're using a cream or a shadow. So again, if you have dry skin, oily dry skin, you can still use some creams and liquids. If you have really dry skin, I would not recommend like matte foundations or anything like that. You want to stick with something that's going to give you more of a glow. Because again, I feel like glowy, dewy skin looks nicer than dry, matte skin. Especially if you have lines and wrinkles, it's going to look more dry and more aged if you're using too much of matte foundation or matte powders on your face. It's just going to accentuate all that even more. We just kind of talked about setting powder and setting spray. Again, if your skin is really dry, stay away from it. If you still feel like it's dry but I want to use a setting powder, then I would recommend using something like the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless powder. I love that one. I love my Chanel powder. If that's out of your price range, look for one that's really fine. You want to look for a powder that's really, really fine. So when you put it on your face, it doesn't look like you're wearing powder. And that's what I like about those two powders. I feel like when you put them on, it doesn't look like you have powder on your face. Another one that I like that's a finishing powder is from Makeup Forever. I love this finishing powder. What it's going to do is it's going to kind of soften your face up a little bit. You know, it's kind of looks like it gives your skin a little bit of a, like a filtered look without looking like powder. It's just a beautiful, beautiful powder in my opinion. And something else that's really, really important is using the right tool. So again, if you have dry, patchy skin, you do not want to use a makeup foundation brush. You don't, because that foundation brush, when you're going like this, you're just kicking up all that dry skin. It's gonna look flakier. You're better off using a sponge. We can press the product in and not disturb any of that. And that is why, my friends, why you have to make sure that you are prepping your foundation before you even do any of it, especially when you have dry skin. Prepping your skin is so important. I shared a video on prepping your skin, and I'm gonna make sure I link it up there for you so you guys can check that out in case you missed it. Tools are important. So besides using something like this, I would prefer using, that's what I prefer using, as a sponge to apply my makeup. Once you start doing it, I know some of you started doing that after I raved about it, and you guys are like, girl, yeah, my makeup really my game stepped up. You know what I mean? My makeup game got stepped up from using a sponge. It really is amazing. Other things you want to do is you want to make sure that you are using the right brushes. I've been loving these Refer brushes, not sponsored. They sent it to me. I always tell you guys that, even like months ago, like even if it's a year later, I say they sent it to me because I always want to be upfront with you. I don't have any discount codes or anything like that, but I'm just going to tell you, I love using these natural brushes. But good brushes are so important. So if you are using the sponge, and please don't tell me you are. Don't be using that sponge that comes with your little eye, even the Chanel thing. If it comes with those little sponge things, throw those in the garbage. Seriously. You do not want to use those. You want to use nice eye brushes when you are applying your eyeshadow. It makes a huge difference. I cannot stress that enough. Even if you don't know what you're doing with makeup, if you are using really good tools, it makes a huge difference. I've been a makeup brush lover since I started wearing makeup in my teens. I always wore it. And I remember when I worked in a hair salon, there were girls I worked with that thought they would laugh at me. Yeah, in a hair salon. Like these were professionals and they were like they would just use those foam things. It's like, are you serious? Like, no girl, you've got to use brushes. So brushes, you'll get the right application. You'll be able to blend it, especially when it comes to your eyeshadow. Really, really important to use really, really good brushes. And I love these. Another thing is face brushes as well. You want to make sure that you are using really, really good quality face brushes as well. Again, it makes such a huge difference in the way your makeup is going to go on. It really, really does. I shared some videos on makeup applications, and I'm going to set that playlist for you over here so you can check that out. Really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. You can follow me on TikTok and on Instagram, and I will catch you guys all in my next video. Bye. You want to make sure that you are getting a moisturizer. The other thing that you can do is look for one that's a pore filling primer. Ugh.